And we're live.
Hey crafters, welcome to This Crafty Life Live, the show where two crafters spend an hour feeding their passion for all things crafty. And they're going to bring you along for the fun. Before we get started, if you have any questions or show ideas, please feel free to email us at thiscraftylifelive@gmail.com. Now let me introduce our hostesses for you today. First we have Maymay. Now you guys might recognize her from her YouTube channel, Maymay Made It, where she does everything from paper crafting to Upcycle Projects. Maymay also designs a really fun line of clear stamps, and she has a stamp club, and there's some news about that today that I know you guys are going to be excited about. Also, and did I mention she is a Periscope? Everybody say hello to Maymay.
Hey guys, I'm glad.
And then we have Melody Lane, and I'm sure you recognize her too from her YouTube channel, where she does some amazing projects and tutorials and fun hauls. She is a Cricut product expert and designs her own line of digital papers for all of you paper crafters out there. She also has some really amazing giveaways on her Patreon channel. So you guys say hello to Melody Lane. Now there are links to all of Maymay and Melody's social media sites in the show notes down at the bottom, so you'll want to check those all out. And I'll be monitoring the chat today, so all the questions and comments that you have, give me a shout out, let me know where you're from, and ask any questions, and at different times during the show today, we'll pause and answer your question. All right, ladies, it's over to you.
Well, before we get started correctly, let me also introduce Vinny. Vinny is my better half, and he is also the moderator of our show, so he is there for you guys if you need anything. He's in the chat, and we're thankful to have him on our show today. Thanks, Vinny. All right, for the first thing I want to do is I want to ask Mel a question. Melody, what have you been up to?
I really haven't been making as many videos as I've wanted to, but I have been working on one. I made this card. Let me show you this card.
Oh, it's so cute.
You see it?
Yeah, I love it.
It's an easel card, so it starts like this. And then it's all one piece. I made easel cards before where you had to put a piece on, but this one is all one piece. And I cut this top part out of color pencil paper, and then I used Anna Griffin's watercolor pencils to do this part down here. I had the Explorer draw the outline of it, and then I colored it in with the watercolored pencils.
That is really cute.
Mm-hmm. And so I did this on the InDesign Space, so the Cricut cut it out. I think you should do a video on this to show how to do it without a Cricut, because you can do it without a Cricut.
Okay, if you guys want me to do that pop-up card without the Cricut, you have to say in the comments and let Vinny know, and he will write it down. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. You know what, Mel? My Peking Bunny stamp set is perfect for that.
I know! I didn't get that stamp set yet, but I was thinking that would be perfect to have your little bunny there. And of course you could put Happy Easter, or you could make it a birthday card. It can be any kind of card. I just put Hello Spring because, you know. But this video will, I hope it will be out later today. It took me 4 or 5 hours to get it off my camera onto my computer. Some people don't understand how long it takes sometimes to do a video, but I was having so much trouble just getting it off my camera to the computer, and I started editing it last night.
I've been having the same problem lately. It's so interesting, like taking videos. I don't know if it's the software, because we both use pretty much just the Mac, you know. I don't know if it's something in the update, because it's been taking forever. It's been killing me.
Well, and mine has been failing, and, well, George helped me figure out the problem because I had a storage stick in it, and it was all going through that, and I didn't realize it. So I think we fixed the problem, so hopefully I won't have that anymore, but we always have problems with videos. You know, it's just not always as easy as it seems.
It is not. I'll be glad to do that. Now, I saw someone ask where they would get that file.
It's through Design Space, and I give it to as a perk to everyone who supports me on Patreon. They get all of my files. So I have I stopped counting at 100, to tell you the truth. I don't know how many files there are, but I was done counting at 100. So for $1 pledge, they get the file and all my other files for Cricut Design Space.
So so for $1 pledge, you get over 100 files. So that's important to say, because it's not just the one file for that price.
Right, no. It's not just the one. And this one I give 2, because everything here is in the subscription. So I also give one that's blank, where it just has the layers of the card, which I made out of free images. So then if they don't have these images, like if they wanted a bunny and they didn't have one, they could use your stamp and cut it out and put there. Or they could put out their own things or just put embellishments on it. They don't have to cut out anything on a paper, just.
And that video is scheduled to go up today.
Yeah, probably later today or in the morning.
And then you'll be able to get to all her links and things.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, I've been up to some stuff. I gotta look at my notes to see what I've been up to. I'm just kidding, I don't. Today is a big exciting day for us, because, let me preface for 1 second. I went to, let me put it on me, I've still got it on Melody. So you've been like the pretty thing for all this time. Okay, so I went to my Facebook group and I asked you guys to give me some ideas for stamp sets that you want. The reason being, I get a lot of messages of requests for stamp sets, and I love that because I want to make what you want, but I was having a hard time keeping up with all of them in my Facebook Messenger, so I asked you guys to put them into the post in the Facebook group. Well, someone said, I would love to see a scripture-themed stamp club. For those of you who don't know, I have a stamp club where you get a full-size stamp set every month for $11.99 with free shipping, plus free shipping on any future stamp set purchases, and some perks. All that's in the store. Well, today we release the Heart Scripture Stamp Club, which I'm really excited about, because if you know anything about me, we have a Facebook group called Hide His Word in My Heart. And so I went with that. The way we type it and everything, that's the name of our new stamp club. Works like this. You get a full-size scripture or Bible-themed stamp set every month. We'll ship them around the 15th of the month. So we did that so you're not getting 2 clubs at the first. You'll get a club at the 1st and a club at the 15th if you want both, whichever you can choose. It's on our store. There'll be a link below. If you have any questions, please ask, and Vince and I will be glad to answer those questions today or in the comments section. So that's the big thing for me. But Melody and I also have some big news, and that is that on Thursday night, this Thursday, what's Thursday's date? The 18th? I think it's the 18th. Do I need to look it up? Let me look real quick. Thursday is the 18th. On Thursday night, the 18th, at 7 p.m. Central Time, that's my time, so 8 p.m. Mel's time, right?
Yeah.
We're doing a live show that's kind of one of our This Crafty Life Live extras, where we're going to talk about how to use YouTube to your advantage as a viewer. And here's what that means. There's a lot of tools and a lot of things that YouTube offers that you may not know about, like how to get email notifications every time one of your favorite YouTubers uploads a video, or how to make a playlist of the videos you just love, how to save videos to your favorites. What else, Melody?
How to watch YouTube videos on Facebook. I think a lot of people are doing it, but not doing it to the best of the best they can. There's better ways than some people are doing it.
And also, we have already set up that show. The link will be below. There's a chat section in that show as well. So if you have questions about how to watch YouTube to your advantage or how to make the best of it for you, put them in that chat, and we will answer them on the show. Plus, that night you can come in and ask questions too. It's going to be real casual. I don't want you guys to, to expect what we're doing here today. It'll be more casual, just me and Mel chatting with you. But we have, I've been doing this now since 2011. How long have you been doing YouTube, Mel?
I think 2011 or the end of 2010.
Something. We're about the same, and the thing we've had a lot of over the years is questions about how do I subscribe? How much does it cost? A lot of people think it costs money to subscribe to a YouTube channel, but it doesn't.
It's free.
Now, there are some new options that we'll talk about, too, because there's YouTube Red now. We'll talk about that so you guys can understand how that works. What am I missing, Mel?
I can't think right now. There's more, I think.
The other thing was, this particular chat is not about how to start a YouTube channel. We are going to do one of those because we want you guys to be successful on YouTube as well. But this won't be that particular show. This is the one to teach our viewers how to use YouTube to their advantage. So that is Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can go on and set a reminder so you won't miss it. So you can do that. So today's show, I'm really excited about today's show. We have two of my buddies. This is so fun for me. We're going to introduce you to them in just a second. We have Gareth Frewer. He is all the way from London. I don't want to give too much away. And then we have Blake Leaphart, who is all the way from North Carolina or South Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. You'll know from his accent in just a second. I'm going to introduce you guys to Gareth real quick. Am I ahead or have I missed anything? No, I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
This is how we direct each other live. So, Gareth,
hello, how are
you?
you?
On the screen so everyone can see you. This is Gareth Frewer, everyone, and I'm going to ask Gareth some questions so he can tell you all about himself. And so, the first question I have for you, Gareth, it's really more of a statement. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name's Gareth, as Maymay just said. I'm from London, the UK. I'm 37, and I teach special needs children in my day job, and I'm a crafter, and I have a small online store in the night hours, mind you, and day hours too.
Gareth stays busy. I hope you heard that he just said he has a day job, an online store, and a YouTube channel. So he's a very busy guy.
Very busy. An umpteen amount of Facebook groups.
We didn't even talk about those. How many do you think you have?
I probably own or manage probably between 10 and 15.
Wow.
Now, how many do you admin for?
6 probably.
Gareth is on my admin group. We have a head admin, and then we have a co-head. Gareth is my head administrator on my Facebook groups, including everything he does for himself.
Wow.
Busy bee.
Yes, he is. Now, the second question I have for you, well, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. Tell us about your channel and what it's all about.
Well, my channel is G's Creations. Like Maymay, a lot of her YouTube and her life things are Maymay Made It, or Maymay this, Maymay that, but mine is G's, G''S. So mine is G's Creations. I have tutorials out Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes I throw out a midweek extra which goes out on Wednesday. And it's everything from guest designing for other stores, designing projects for my own store, upcycles, jewelry making, reviews, chit chats, just pretty much all round really.
I don't want to miss this either. I know I said your channel, but you also have a Periscope.
I do. Again, G's Creations. I think it's G's Creations 2009. I've got quite a few followers now. I don't have quite as many as Maymay, but I'm getting there.
You're gonna.
Yep. So that's G's Creations on Periscope, and I always have a Catch Me as well. So that automatically goes up onto my Facebook group if you ever miss any of my my Periscopes.
Now I want to say this because you didn't say it about your channel, and I happen to know this. Gareth is like the king of Upcycle Projects. Like, don't throw it away. Go to Gareth's channel. He will show you how to make it into something fantastic.
In fact, my tomorrow video is an upcycle. It's using jar lids. So if you've got some jar lids, make sure you keep them.
All right, my last question for you is, how did you get started on YouTube? No, not on YouTube. That's not the question. How did you get started in arts and crafts? That's the question.
Well, I've always been crafty. I've always been artistic. I used to love drawing as a child. And my grandfather on my father's side and my father are both very, very good with their hands. They make and create things with wood. They're very good at it. So I suppose even though my craft isn't wood related, it's kind of still, I think it runs in the family. So I used to love art. I used to love to draw. I used to love to work with clay when I was in secondary school. And then as I've got older, I started making jewellery. And then just general craft from kind of my mid-20s, but I've crafted on and off in different areas throughout my life. But predominantly more so in the past kind of 3 or 4 years.
when I met you, you were doing predominantly jewelry. You had a jewelry store mostly.
Yeah, that's correct. I had an Etsy store for a while, and then I've done fetes and fairs and that kind of thing over here in the UK. I don't do as much jewelry now because of carpal tunnel and some other bits and pieces, so I'm not as active in the jewelry making side of things, but I do still do it occasionally.
Well, I'm so glad you're on the show today. This is exciting for me because I bet no one would believe this about us, Gareth. And most people know that Gareth and I are chums. We are very close friends, and it's so funny because we've only spoken face-to-face twice. The first time was on a blab with Melody, and
we both blabbed, by the way.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can see you, but we talk all the time. And it's always, like, I talk about Gareth like he's just one of us. You know, he's like, so how's Gareth? We're always, you know, like that. So.
And I do. I mean, I said to Maymay many times, how's my American family? You know, they are my extended family, and it's the same with my family here in the UK. They ask how Maymay is, and they know who I'm talking about when I say Maymay. They even Vinny, they know who I'm talking about. Just extended family.
We love it. I'm so glad you're on the show. Now, we're going to talk again to Gareth in just a little bit, but now I want you guys to meet Blake, and Melody is going to introduce you to Blake.
I met Blake. I saw his first videos when he did a Made by Mommy challenge that I also did too, and I saw this video and I'm like, wow, who is that guy? He does amazing videos. So I went to his channel. What was that?
You sent it to me. You're like, Maymay, you have to watch this guy.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe it. And then I saw how many subscribers he has, and I was like, oh my God, I thought he would have 100,000 subscribers, but at the time he only had 87. So, Christopher, or Blake, you prefer to go by Blake, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. First question I have, tell us about you.
Okay. Well, my name is Blake. My whole name is Blake Leaphart. My sister and I both go by our middle names. It's just some kind of thing my parents decided a little. I'm 2 years old. I am engaged to my high school sweetheart at college, and I'm also balancing college with running my handmaids.
And tell us about your YouTube channel. What do you do on your channel? And
make really just projects that I was already going to do. I just happened to share them. We recently moved into our first apartment, so doing a lot of, I've been doing some furniture, redoing some furniture, and came across the Made by Mommy craft challenge, and I loved it because it was taking a bunch of random stuff and making something really cool out of it, and that's pretty much what I've always liked doing. So I thought I would join in the fun and share it in a video.
Yeah, and that's how I found you, and I am so jealous. The last craft Made by Mommy, you did this beautiful paper mache heart that looked so incredibly real, and I don't know if you watched my video, but I had so much trouble with that one. It was so hard for me. And I tried to make a card, and I ended up with something completely different at the end. And I almost felt like I failed. And then I saw yours. I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe what you created out of that box. It just didn't make me feel good at all.
Oh,
Yours was so incredible.
No, see, that's what I want to do with my channel. I've had the opportunity to have like really great art teachers and stuff through school, and I feel like I've learned certain skills that may be as common to other people, and that's kind of what I want to share with my channel.
Yeah. How did you get started doing crafts?
I guess you could say I was born into it. My family's really creative. When I was growing up, my decorated cakes for a living, and for a while I thought that's what I wanted to do, and I kind of done that for a little bit. My aunts, they sing. My great uncles were like carpenters, and my great aunt were florists, and I just kind of grew up in that environment where you make stuff.
Cool. I loved those letters. They're right behind your shoulder. I just watched that video this morning. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was incredible. And some people in the chat are asking for your YouTube channel. It's in the description of this video. You can go to his YouTube channel, but don't do that till after the show, so you don't miss out on the giveaway.
Hey, tell them about the giveaway, Mel.
We have our giveaway today is G's Creations is giving a discount of £10 sterling. The winner will get I want to say dollars, but it's £10 off of his store, correct? And
That's
then
correct.
I'm going to be giving away 5 sets of digital paper, and there's I think there's 9 to 14. Some have 16 different papers in them, so you get 5 sets. You choose whatever you want. And then, Maymay, what are you giving away?
I'm going to give away a $15 store credit to my store. And for my store and Gary's store, how that'll work is I want to give real quick details. It's like $15 off your purchase on my store. It's like £10 off your purchase on Gary's store. So if you go over, obviously, it'll just come off of your purchase for the day. Is that right, Gary?
That's correct, yes.
Good deal.
And his £10 is more than $10.
Yeah. It works out to be about $15 roughly.
Yeah.
Now, how do we win that, Mel? You got to tell us.
You have to continue to watch this video to get the secret word. We're not going to give it yet. And it's only open for the next 24 hours. So this will be on our blog, ThisCraftyLifeLive.com. There will be a Rafflecopter app, and all you have to do is put in the secret word. You don't have to follow anything. You just have to type the secret word, and you have to keep watching to see what the secret word is.
That is right. Okay, any questions for us, Vinny, from our comment section?
We did have a question earlier about if you join the stamp club, when will you be billed, and how does that work?
For both of my stamp clubs, it works the same way. When you sign up initially, you are charged a prepay for your next month, and then you won't be charged again until, if you do the regular club, you won't be charged again until the following month on the 1st. So like if you sign up, what is today, the 15th? You sign up today, you get billed today, but you won't be charged again until like April 1st. And it works the same way for the second club, except you won't be billed again until like April 15th. Like it'll go the 15th of each month. So that's how those will work. I hope that answered. If not, message me or email me. You can email me at MaymayMadeIt, or you can get Vince at Vinny@MaymayMadeIt. Now we're fixing to do something super fun, guys. Okay. Several years ago, I did a thing called a tag on YouTube. Like, you've probably seen these before. They're tags where people do a video, and then they say, if you want to do a video and tag me in it, blah, blah, blah. Well, this tag was created in the beauty community, and I thought, it kind of works for crafters, too, because we buy a lot of product, and we use a lot of products, just like beauty gurus do. So I changed the tag to be the 7 deadly sins of crafting instead of the 7 deadly sins of beauty or makeup as they had it. So I did this a long time ago. So when I talked to the guys about coming on the show, I thought, instead of doing this traditional interview, I would like to get to know more about you and your crafting style, and I think this might be a cool way to do it. So I'm going to ask the question, and then all 4 of us are going to answer it. And I bet you guys will learn some stuff about us you probably don't know, which could be a little scary, but we'll see. We'll see. It might just be super fun. So I'm going to start with the first question, and I think I'm going to head to Blake for the first question. Are you ready, Blake?
Oh, yeah.
Blake's going to start this one, and then we'll just move around. We'll go Blake, and then Gareth, and Melody, and me. We'll go like that for this one. Okay. What craft item are you most greedy with?
Probably my scissors, because I'm very particular what they're used for, and that they spark for my felt and stuff. So I don't like for people to use my scissors.
Gareth, what about you?
I think it'll have to be adhesives, because I have certain adhesives I will only use on certain projects. As most of the followers know out there, we're big art glitter glue fans, and yeah, no one can touch that in this household. I will bite their hands off.
Melody, what you greedy with?
This is the hardest question because I know a lot of crafters are very greedy for things, but I'm not. I want to share everything. But I don't have other people in the house who are not crafters. I live with 2 other crafters, so I know they know how to use things, and we kind of share everything now. So
I'll send you my address, Melody. You can share with me too.
We've merged everything, so I don't think there's anything I have that I wouldn't let someone else use, or that I don't want them to use.
What product would you be stingy with? Well, is that later? I don't think so. But I don't know. I'm not going to ask you that because we may answer it in a minute. Yeah. Okay, so I'm probably the most greedy about. I'm like Blake. I'm that way with my scissors because I have certain scissors for certain things to the point that I even mark scissors like this is what they're used for. And I will never forget the day I walked into the garage at my house and saw my Tim Holtz scissors laying on the counter because my husband had to open some blister pack out there or something. And I nearly fainted.
Hold up. Don't throw me under the bus.
So I'm going to say my scissors. Don't touch my scissors. Me and Blake, we got a high five on that one.
Yeah.
You've got your warning there, Vinny.
Yeah.
So the next one is, and I'm going to explain it just a little bit. What craft product or activity brings out the wrath in you? So I'm going to explain it. Is there a project or a product or something that you've tried before that you got so angry with that you just gave up on it, or that every time you do it you feel anxiety? So we're going to start with Gareth on this one. We'll let him tell us what is his project.
For me, even now, a few months later, I've got better, but I'm still very frustrated with my wreath making skills. I'm getting better, and I'm determined to get there, but there are times when I'm making them and rewatching videos on YouTube, and I will put a Maymay's wreath playlist on my big TV and watch them tutorial by tutorial by tutorial, and I've learnt so much by them, but they still frustrate me. But I'm getting there.
Wreaths are hard.
More of them on my channel because I'm determined to get there.
I think they're hard. Blake, what's the thing that brings out the wrath in you?
I think it would be my hot glue gun because I burn myself on a regular basis, and you get those little strings stuck to everything, and you go one thing, and it throws everything away, and that makes me angry.
I cannot tell you how many people are going to agree with you about that. I guarantee you it's like hot glue gun, hot glue gun. Mel, what about you?
I don't know that there's one thing. I really try not to get angry when I craft. If I have trouble with something, I just keep trying. But this last Made by Mommy craft challenge was horrible for me. In my video, someone mentioned it was the funniest video they've ever seen. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I can see how it was funny. Because dinner was ready, so I took a break from my project, and then I couldn't come back till 3 days later. I didn't know what to do with it. I was ready to quit, but I'm like, I'm not giving up. I can make something. So it wasn't turning out anyway how I wanted it, and so that's really the only thing I can remember that I really got upset about. Now, there's been a few times in the beginning with my ATG gun with loading that and doing that, but now, because I've done it so much, it's not trouble, but once in a while I still upload the tape wrong. But I don't get upset. I just take it out and redo it. You know, you can't get upset over the little things like that. You just got to learn how to do it.
I'm kind of like that to an extent. Like, I just did this the other day. I had this idea that I really, really wanted to work, and I was in the craft room working on it. I don't even remember what it was now, which is even more ironic. But I was like, okay, that's it. I'm walking away from this. And I remember I walked out of the craft room into Vince's office, and I said, that's it, I quit. I don't remember what it was. Not I quit everything, just I quit that project. I don't remember what it was. But I will tell you this, and I remember giving this answer in my original video. What used to bring out the wrath in me was my Cricut. Oh, my gosh. I used to have the Cricut expression. I had to think which one it was. And it and I were not friends. And just the thought of using it used to tense me up so much that I wouldn't use it hardly ever. So I'm really happy now with my Explorer because for me it's a lot more user-friendly. For me, now I'm sure not for everybody, but I was just, that expression did me in. I could use it, but it was just the thought of going to use it would always stress me out. I'm like, no, I'll just cut it out by hand. So that was just me. Okay, this is a good one for Melody. I'm going to start with Melody on this one.
Uh-oh.
You remember what this question is? You're going to love this one.
I don't remember.
I know the answer, I think. We'll see.
You might know it, but I don't.
What craft supplies what craft supply are you most gluttonous with? Meaning,
we all know that one, Maymay.
Keep.
Well, I go through different stages with that, I think, of what I keep buying. I have a buying problem. I get stuck on something, and then I want everything. Every brand, everything. And at this moment in time, it's colored pencils. It is. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I've been buying every brand of colored pencils, and there's still more I want. And now this is all before I even colored with colored pencils. So finally, I'm like, I have to start coloring before I buy anymore.
I knew you were going to say paper.
No, I have so much paper, I don't want any more paper.
Well, that's good.
I have stacks of paper down here that belong up in these, and I don't want to put them there, but we don't have room to store them anymore. So putting them back in the racks where they go, that's the best place to put them because they're not taking up any more space. I don't want to buy any more paper. But the colored pencils, I'm like craving them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually, as a crafter, it makes perfect sense.
I'm craving them, and I'm watching videos. I watched a 2-hour video on coloring colored pencils, and that was part 1. I thought I was the only one that made a 2-hour video on YouTube. But no, that was part 1. It was 2 hours, and I watched the entire thing. I did.
Well, now we want a link.
It's Lisa Lecrae. It's amazing. Actually, I think that video that I watched is only for her Patreon. I started watching a few of her videos, and she was incredible. And so she has tons of them. Look, I think it's L-A-C-R. She was on the Frugal Crafters Ask a Crafter. Or not Ask a Crafter.
Ask an Artist.
Yes, that's where I came up with her. I stopped watching the Ask an Artist and started on her because I was like, who are these people in this hangout? So that's how I found her. And then I saw she had a Patreon, so I went there, and I like to support other creators on Patreon. So I supported her, and I'm like, oh, and she has part 1 of this tour. I watched it, and I learned more than I've ever learned in my life about colored pencils. It was amazing.
We'll try to put a link to her below so everybody can go check her out, too.
Yeah.
All right, Blakey Blake. See, I told you I'm going to get you a nickname before it's over with. What craft supply are you the most gluttonous with? I think he may have frozen. Blake is having some bad weather in his area today. They've got a lot of snow, so we're going to go to Gareth. Gareth, what craft supply are you the most gluttonous with?
It has to be stamps. I have ice cream tubs full of stamps. I love stamps, particularly polymer stamps, but I do have a good collection of woodblock stamps as well. Yeah, I love them. There's a particular brand. I don't know if you know a particular brand. It's called Maymay Made It. Some of the viewers may know it. But they're awesome. I mean, I practically own, I think, every set that Maymay's ever made, including the very first one, the bunny one.
I think you actually do own every set.
Yeah. So I have tons of stamps.
All right, Blake, I see that you're back. So the question goes to you. What craft product are you the most gluttonous with?
I have to think I'm like Melody because I go through phases. Right now, it would be felt. I'm hoarding felt like nothing else because that's what I make my flowers from. But just since it was yarn, I have like packs of yarn over here that I have no idea what with.
Now, I want to know about your flowers. They can see them on your Etsy store, right?
Yes, I have two Etsy stores, but the one with my flowers is called Leaf Boutique, and it's spelled APH. It's kind of a play on my last name because a lot of people say they might as well embrace it for something. And my fiance, they helped me come up with a name, and that's where I do the felt flowers.
Well, I'm going to put a link to that in the description too, because your flowers are amazing.
Thank you. It's causing me to hoard tons of felt like a crazy person.
I love felt too. I like to have it, but I never know what to do with it. So sometimes I'll play with it and sometimes I won't. But if you guys go check out his flowers, you're going to be so glad we introduced you to Blake's flowers because they are stunning.
Thank you.
Now, what craft supply am I the most gluttonous with? I'm just going to be totally honest and tell you it is paper punches. I want every punch I see. As a matter of fact, she's probably watching, Kim Nesbitt. She's so funny. She messaged me on Facebook. She said, Maymay, Michaels is clearancing out all of their Martha stuff. And not all of it, but their paper products and their punches and stuff. And I was like, really? So on Friday night, Vince doesn't even know, but I tricked him into this. I was like, I want to go to Craftful, which is like the closest Michaels to me. So I went to Michaels while he went to a hunting store, and I got a couple of Martha punches, not too many. But I will never say no to a paper punch. I feel like I can always find a way to use it, and it makes me giddy to purchase them. I just love them. Love them. Okay, you guys are learning a lot about us. This question, it's really interesting, and you guys are going to be, I don't know, we'll see what you guys say. What craft or project are you the most slothful or lazy about? Do you just kind of get it done to get it done, or you're so lazy you won't do it, like you won't start with it? So I'm going to go to Blake and let him answer first on this one. How about that?
Okay. I can't really say that I'm really slothful with any kind of project, because if I'm going to do it, I like really it to doing it. I am really sloth like the mess that's left behind, because like I will start one project and then I'll get it about another one, and then I'll just kind of, I guess, do it that way, and then I'll have like 10 million half-done projects that I have to come back to, and it ends up being a mess in my workroom. I guess that would be it.
Can I just say about him and his crafts, like, because I watched the video where he did the letters, and did like a little garden in the letters, and he painted it like 3 or 4 different colors with 2 coats each, and I'm like, oh my god, I would have never have done that. I wouldn't have thought of that, and I wouldn't have wanted to do it either. So I'm going to say I would have been lazy on his project.
You'd have done one coat and been out the door.
Right, I would have never thought that putting up all those coats would have done that. But that's what I'm learning in colored pencils, is you're layering all the different colors on top of each other, which is something I've never done before. I just learned that recently. And so that's where that comes in, layering the different paints. But I'm like, I would have never have thought of that, but it turned out awesome.
Thank you.
Gareth, what about you? What craft or project are you the most slothful or lazy with?
I think anything that involves drying time. I hate waiting for things to dry, especially mixed media projects. I like, you know, especially when you're gessoing something, you've got to wait for the gesso to dry, then you've got to wait for the glue to dry, then you've got to gesso over it again. It's like, I'm not a big fan of waiting for the drying time. I tend to use my heat tool way too often, especially with molding pastes and texture pastes, where you really shouldn't, because all you're doing is drying the outside and it's still mushy on the inside. But I'm not a big fan of waiting for things to dry.
I'm not a big fan of drying time either. I think that's I would probably do a lot more crafts if I didn't have to wait for steps in between. But you'll be surprised to know that I'm very slothful about wreaths. And that's probably why I don't have more wreath videos on my channel, because I kind of put them off, but it's really not so much the wreath itself. But for me, it's the videoing of it. The filming setup is so long, detailed to get the wreath done right that I have to set up. Even here, where we were so excited at the Craft Cottage to be able to have like a specific spot for it, I have to set up lights, and I have to get the background right, and I have to have I have to have my laptop as my monitor. It's just so much work. So for me, I put off wreaths because of that. But I probably still would put off wreaths because I feel like they're a lot of work. But I love them when they're done. But that's my thing. I'm going to say wreaths, which is probably, I don't know, you might not be shocked, but that's me. This question I really like, and I don't know if you'll be honest, but I really want you to be honest, okay? Just say it. Here's the deal. What crafts bring you the most pride when you're finished with them? Let's start with, I'm looking at your faces to see who's ready to be honest. Let's start with, Blake is smiling. I'm going with Blake.
Okay. I would have to say it's my miniatures because it's so incredibly long to make them. And I'm pretty convinced I'm going blind, making myself go blind making them too. But it's really rewarding. Like in the end, when I'm done and it looks convincing to me, but it's big. I'm really proud of my miniatures.
Now, where can we see your miniatures?
Right now, I'm doing like a contest for building a dollhouse. And I have a blog just for my miniatures. It's called A Bohemian Bazaar. The link should be abazaar.blogspot.com. But I used to make miniature foods out of like polymer clay and stuff. But with school and everything, I haven't had time. Now I'm switching my focus to actually like working on the actual structure of a dollhouse, which is really fun too.
That's super cool. I need to introduce you to my friend that has a miniatures Facebook group. That would be cool for you to kind of show your stuff to. While we're talking about all your groups and stuff, Christopher has a goal to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the year. Now, I know you guys, right now we have 144 people watching. Head over and subscribe to him. Get him to that 1,000 and show him some love. The other thing while we're talking about that is Gareth has a goal to reach 2,000 subscribers. And it's, of course, in 2016 he'd like to do that. And he's not very far away, like a little over 300, I think, is what we're over. Is that right, Gareth?
Yeah, I'm about 1,700 at the moment, just over 1,700.
So you guys, if you're not subscribed to Gareth and to Blake, head over and subscribe to them. Show them some love. Help them reach those goals. I know there's some giveaways that'll come out of that too, so it'll benefit you too. All right, Gareth, what is the thing that brings you the most pride when you make it?
For me at the moment, it's cards. I'm getting a lot of joy, I suppose, out of making cards because cards and wreaths were kind of my phobias when it came to crafting. And I'm really, Maymay actually said something to me a few days ago, and it made perfect sense. And that's the fact that, you know, when you're making a card, just look at it as an oversized ATC, and it's perfect. That's exactly how I see them now, and they seem to flow better. The ideas seem to flow better, and the construction seems to flow better. And I'm making more and more of them, as I'm sure many of the followers that follow me on Facebook will know. And hopefully I'm getting better at them. But yeah, for me at the moment, the joy I'm getting of creating it and then having it, you know, having a vision, then create it, and then seeing the end product is great at the moment.
It is true because Gareth makes ATCs, and if you don't know what those are artist trading cards, and he's always done those very well. And he told me for the longest time that cards were kind of his nemesis, and I'm like, it's just an oversized ATC. You'll be able to do amazing, and I think he has. So you can check that out for Gareth on his ATC Facebook, which is G's ATCs. Is that right, Gareth?
Yeah, ATC Inspirations. If any of the viewers want to follow me on Facebook, all of my groups and things start with G. So it's G''S. I've got numerous amount of Facebook groups that you're very welcome to join.
Go check him out on all those spots too. All right, Melody, what craft or project makes you the most proud when you finish it?
I think when I'm painting, like just abstract things like my paper, like our banner behind us. This is one of my favorites. I painted that and turned it into digital paper. And I think a lot of my digital paper, I'm like, some of my digital paper, like I'll have 5 different pages coming from one paper. Like I take pictures of it and stuff as I go, and then I add and change it and do more to it. And I think some of my paintings from my digital paper, like this is one of my favorites. This whole set is the Becky set, and I just love the way the colors are.
I love that set too. When we were making the banners, I was like, this paper, I love how it has kind of the bokeh look. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. And I can see that about you because I know how you feel as soon as you get they're like babies, like your paper packs are like your baby, and as soon as you get them done, you can look back and have that pride. I can see that. That's awesome. So for me, I'm going to say it's Upcycle Projects because my favorite thing in the world to do is to have somebody look at something and go, what is that made of? And go, you're not going to believe it's a cereal box. You know, I love that. I love seeing, like I did Faux Wood Week on my channel accidentally. I didn't mean to do Faux Wood Week. It just turned into it. It was like, every day it was like another faux wood project I was doing. And the latest thing I did is chipboard that looks like wood. And I'm so proud of that. When I look at it, I'm like, even I don't believe that is what I did, you know. So I love upcycle projects like that. Hey, before we continue, we're going to stop right there for a second. And I know the chat has been going strong. Vinny, are there any questions or anything we should take now to kind of fill in the gaps?
We can do that. Susan asked a question of Gareth. She wanted to know what part of London was he from, because she was originally from, I hope I say this right, Fulham?
From Fulham. I'm not too far from Fulham. I'm actually based in a place called Harlesden, which is not far from Wembley, where the football stadium is. So Fulham's not far from me at all.
Well, I did say it right. That's good. And
you did.
Quite a few people have commented about how sharp you look today, by the way, G. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
I had a question for Blake. Blake, they want to know, what brand of felt do you use?
I actually order it from an Etsy shop. It's not a particular brand, but their shop is called Benzie Design, I think. It's wool felt. It's blend felt, so it's thicker and sturdier, and it cuts easier than regular felt. It's good quality stuff.
And what part of South Carolina are you from, Blake?
Upstate Carolina. I am in the Clemson area.
Cool.
That's awesome. Okay, I just wanted to catch up a little bit. We're going to have time for more questions at the end. I don't want to ask them all right now, okay, Vinny? So I'm going to keep going with our last 2 7 deadly sins of crafting, and they are, this next one is a fun one. Ready for this? What craft supply or project do you lust after? So basically, what do you watch and wish you could do, or really want to buy the products to do, or wish you could spend more time on it? So you got to think about this one, the one that you, even that you secretly lust after, like no one knows that's what you want to do. So I'm looking at faces. Blake does not look ready to answer.
I can answer.
Go, Melody.
I want to paint like Cinnamon Cooney.
Oh, me too.
Now, I was painting before I even got my Cricut and started YouTubing and all this stuff. I mostly abstract stuff, but I did one time paint this beach scene, and I painted my dad and stepmom on the beach with a sunset, and it was beautiful. It wasn't like her, because I'm not that good, but it was easy because I made them facing the sunset, so I didn't have to draw faces. I just did their little bodies. And I have lots of paints and stuff, but I can't draw like she does. Like I can just like make my paper. You know, I can't. I would love to just be able to just paint. And I don't practice enough, really. I really need to do more in practice, but I'm doing so many other things. I wish I had more time to do everything I really wanted to do.
Amen.
Now, is Blake ready? He looks ready. Go for it, Blake.
Okay. I think I would probably be lustful over not so much another project or that, but some of the craft rooms and like work areas that I see everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had the space and the organization, like I could just do whatever I wanted to.
I bet a lot of people agree with that one.
Yeah.
I do.
What's yours, Gareth? While we're talking, what's yours?
Well, like Blake, I mean, I craft in my bedroom, so I don't have a separate room for my craft supplies. But I think it's not so much a crafting project, but I would love to own a craft item, and that's one of the crickets. I'd love to be able to own one of those, and then I could, expand on my card making skills and have the vinyl and that type of thing. Because I see so many projects, and I have to go to my printer, print off the letters, and then put double-sided tape on it. Where if I had the cricket, I could just print it off on vinyl and stick it onto my projects. So I think for me, the item I lust after the most would probably be a cricket of some description.
I agree about that. They're expensive. That's one of those tools that you just have to save up for, but they will pay for themselves. I will say that, because they have for me for sure. The thing I lust after the most. Say it again.
I'm not sure if I have the space for one, because I know they're not exactly small. They're not small machines, are they?
They're not really as big as you think. I don't think that. I think the footprint is down here. I think it's like 2 feet long, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 21 inches.
But it's really narrow. It's like this. So when you're storing it, it's just closed and it's no big deal. And then when you're using it, you just open it up and kind of give yourself space for it. That's what I do. I just kind of move it out. It's not as big as you think. It looks like it, but they've got, actually the Explorer I think is pretty compact for me, for what all it has to offer in there. So we'll have to tell Father Christmas. That's my English dialect. You hear me use my English accent? Father Christmas about that. For Crimbo. Yes, I said it, for Crimbo. All right, who knows what that is? He's taught me some words, y'all. Okay, the thing I lust after is the ability to color with alcohol markers, like these brilliant people I see.
Yeah.
On YouTube. I go, how hard can it be to get these 3 colors to do what they're getting it to do? But it is so impossible. And you know who I think is the best? I don't know if they're the best, but my favorite ones to watch are the long phone releases. If y'all have never watched their coloring techniques when they do their stamp releases, their design team, I think, colors amazing with 1 or 2 or 3 colors. I just wish I could do it. Instead, I just kind of pretend like I'm doing it, and if it works, it works.
And sometimes it depends on the paper you're using.
Yeah.
I believe that it does. At one point in time, I was designing for somebody, and they sent me some Spectrum Noir paper that was made for the Spectrum Noirs, which are my favorite markers. As you can see, I have a few here. They're my favorite ones. And that paper really did make a difference. I don't have any now. I need to get some. But I do think that matters. We only have 1 question left. It's a fun one, but we have 1 left. Okay. This question is, what crafts or craft ability are you the most envious of? So this is not so much the lust, but like the one you're jealous of. And it might even not be a craft. Maybe it's a YouTube channel or something. What are you the most jealous of in your crafting? I'm looking at faces and you're all like, I'll go first. How about that? I'm probably the most jealous of people who just kind of go with it. They just try it no matter what. Like, I say that I'm that person, but like, I'm going to use Cinnamon, for example. Cinnamon has kind of taken the YouTube platform and just gone, whoosh, let's figure this thing out. And she's just trying stuff. And I say that about Melody, too. I tell Melody she's the tryer-outer or the figure-outer, because I kind of go, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to mess with it. But Melody, on the other hand, is like, I'll figure it out. I wish I had more of that in me, where I would just be a figure out. I'm jealous of people who can just go, I'm just going to try it. What about anybody else? Anybody got a jealous thing there in the craft?
I'm jealous of Christopher's videos. Videos.
I have to agree. That heart is just amazing.
Thank you.
But you have to put more of them. You need to do more videos.
Okay. I'll work on it.
So, Blake, what are you jealous of?
I think it would be people who have, like, this by other handmade business owners, but like people who have like seemingly conquered how to not only make stuff for a living, but looks so easy because I feel at the time I'm flailing around so much to try and like do what I want to, but I'm really envious of how like people seem to do it and it's easy.
So, because it broke up a little bit, you're saying you're kind of jealous of the way some people have got their business all nailed down and it just seems to be rolling. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see. I can say that too because I look at there again. I'm behind the curve because I'm that person who doesn't try it unless somebody nudges me. It seems like so I'm like that too. I look and go, man, I wish I had what they had. So yeah, I'm that way too. Gareth, what about you?
It's a hard one for me, I think, but I think I agree with Blake slightly. I mean, my store was on Facebook for just under a year, and now it's a .com. And I'm very envious of those that are, that are online and successful. I mean, I know how much work it takes to be that way, and I'm very much willing to give it the work that it needs. But it's not easy. It really isn't easy. So I suppose in some way I can be envious for those that have got it already.
Tell us the address to your store, Gareth.
The store is gsembellishmentemporium.com. It's gs then embellishmentemporium.com. And for your viewers, I have a special discount code that will give them 15% off over today and tomorrow. It'll end midnight tomorrow, my time. So that's Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. And if you use TCLL15, that will give you 15% off your purchase. I do offer free shipping if you spend over £45 in the UK and £85 if you're overseas. But if you have hit the £85, you can't use the discount code. You can either have one or the other, either the discount or the free shipping.
I'll make sure I put that in the description so everybody has it too, and we'll put the time that it's going to end and all that good stuff. Mel, did you talk about what you were jealous of?
I was jealous of Christopher's videos.
His videos, that's right. I think we all are jealous of his gorgeous videos. But you know what? That's the artist in him coming out too. He shows his art in his video too.
I have a question for him. How long does it take him to like edit a video?
The ones that I've done so far, I'm probably editing for but most of them have been like the 2 to 3 hour range.
Wow.
Because I'm really frustrated with it, and I'll go around, like I'll walk away and do something else. So it takes me longer. I could probably do it quicker, but it takes me longer because my computer doesn't really have enough memory to run. I use iMovie, I think, and it doesn't have the memory to like even handle that. So I have to like kind of move around files and like use my computer to the full capacity, but that takes a little bit.
Okay, I'm even more jealous of him now. I thought he was going to say much longer because I take longer to edit my videos and they're not as good.
I feel the same way because I'm thinking I use iMovie and I have plenty of storage and I still take longer than that.
Well, I don't. I've the first couple of videos made because I made like 2 videos and I didn't share them because over the place, and when I edited them, the video ended up being super long, and so then I started where recorded myself making the project, not talking to the camera or anything, and then that way I can speed it up however much I decide it needs to be sped up, and then I can narrate over that, and that way I can edit the video in its entirety and then come back and add the narration last. Because then too I have like the hindsight of how the project went, and that helps me a lot, cut down on time and stuff.
So we're getting close on time, and I want us to make sure we get the secret word in today. And I know the secret word, everybody here knows it, but I think it sounds really good coming from Gareth. Y'all care if Gareth says it?
Yeah.
Gareth, let me put this on you real quick. I want you to give the secret word in your accent, please.
Okay, the secret word today, ladies and gents, is gentleman.
It just sounds so much better coming from him, doesn't it?
Gentleman.
Gentlemen. So since we had gentlemen guests today, our secret word is gentlemen. So be sure you write that down so that whenever the Rafflecopter giveaway goes live, you can put the secret word in. So I want to thank our gentlemen for being here. But before, and it is 12 o'clock, and we normally would sign off right now. But before we go, I want to make sure if there's any questions, we get those in. Do you guys have time for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to do this.
I saw a question to me about she bought the deep cut blade for the Cricut Explorer, and she couldn't get it to work on she says it does not work on the Explorer. How do you have any advice on cutting thicker material? There is a deep cut blade that is made specifically for the Explorer. You might have bought one that is made for the Expression. That's the only thing I can think of. The black deep cut blade, there's a black holder for it. So if it's the black one, it is for the Explorer. If it's a different color, it's not. So I'm thinking you have the wrong one. If you go to Cricut.com and click on Shop and click on Supplies and then Cricut Explorer Accessories. Yeah, that's the deep cut blade. So if you don't have that one, you have the wrong one.
And I have a video on my channel showing how to use that. The deep cut.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's my favorite. Video. Okay, so I grabbed that. Any more? Benny, you got the questions for us?
There was one question for you. Well, two questions for you. The first one was, if you had to pick 3 punches, what would they be?
Holy cow. First one, hands down, the Martha Stewart branch punch. Hands down. That's the first one. And I've seen that Tim Holt has brought out one too, so if you can't find Martha Stewart's, look for Tim's. Secondly, and these work together, would be my 1 3/4 inch circle punch and my 2-inch scallop punch, because I always stack them together. I do not want to live without those 3 punches.
All right. And the second question for you was, they want to know about your shirt.
Look how big it is.
They didn't ask the size. I think they're asking about your design.
Got you. It's a peach. I know it's hard to see. I told the guys I was going to change shirts because it's weird, but it's a peach. See the peach with my monogram in it. And my son Josh is making these, and we're thinking about putting them up on our website for you guys to be able to purchase them because we've had a lot of interest in them. So for now, just know we're working on that. That may happen within the next couple of days. That's really a Vinny question.
Okay. That's all the questions that I have.
Good deal. So I had so much fun with you guys today. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah.
Great time. Thank you.
I've learned a lot too.
I did too. I really was hoping that this way of chatting with each other would bring out a lot of information. I think it did. Mm-hmm. And please, guys, go and subscribe to these guys. It's free to subscribe. Make sure you set your notifications to give yourself an email whenever they post something new. Go watch all of their videos. You're going to love them so much. And subscribe to Melody. Be sure to do that. And myself, you can catch us on all of our channels. And we'll link everybody below. And also, our blog is ThisCraftyLifeLive.com. And we always do a post after the show. You have to give us a little bit because we literally leave the show and then go do that. So you're going to have to give us a little bit. But once it's live, we'll post a link in our Facebook group so you can go get all the information. And that'll include the giveaway and everything else. Melody, what did I miss?
I think we covered everything.
If not...
Somebody asked a question about why we don't ship to Canada. We do ship to Canada, right?
We do ship to Canada, and I don't know what's going on. There's every now and then, someone will purchase from the store and say they got a notice we don't ship to Canada, but we ship to Canada. I get orders for Canada a good bit, so I don't understand what that is, but if that happens to you, just email Vinny at MaymayMadeIt and let him know that happened, and he can do it by hand, basically. That's the easiest way to do it. I think it's a Shopify algorithm situation. I don't really know what the deal is with that, so... Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to let these guys go get started. If you have questions for us, you'll have all the ways to reach us below. Don't forget to be at our live show on Thursday night, where we're going to do a lot of Q&A and talk to you about YouTube and how to make it work for you as a viewer. Thanks so much for being here today, guys. Hey, you guys don't hang up yet.
One thing, who's our next show guest?
Which show is it? Wait a minute.
My Sweet Petunia.
Okay, I don't even know the date that we're on, so...
It's still in February, so it's the last Monday in February.
My Sweet Petunia is Ileana, who created the Misty tool, so don't miss it. Yes, Gareth?
I was say it's 28th.
The 28th. Okay.
28th.
Blake and Gareth, don't hang up yet. We're going to say goodbye to everybody, and we want to get some information from you guys before we go, so we'll have it for the description. All right, love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.